The Lenovo Tab Plus is the latest 11-inch tablet from Lenovo, which is aimed at music lovers with its 8 JBL speakers. I find the design with built-in folding stand particularly exciting, which reminds me a little of the good old Yoga series. However, it also offers a 90Hz display, is partially protected against water and dust, supports a stylus, and can even serve as a Bluetooth speaker for other devices. For my review of the sub $300 Tab Plus, I also compared the speakers with the iPad Pro. If the speakers are supposed to be amazing, it has to compete with the highest class despite the low price. Lenovo has released some interesting designs in the past. I always liked the Yoga series with its grip, large battery, and kickstand. The Lenovo Tab Plus reminds me little of this, but it doesn't have a round grip, but one side that is a good bit thicker than the other. This gives them space for the large speakers, but also for the kickstand. This allows you to set it up at any number of angles. Both the kickstand and the entire back are made of metal. However, the frame is made of plastic. The thin side is 7.7mm thin and the thicker side is 13.58mm thick. At 650 grams, it's quite heavy. It's protected against water and dust according to the IP52 standard. That's not much compared to IP68, but it's better than nothing. It's able to withstand a little dust and a little water, but it's not suitable for the bathtub. On the sides we get a total of 8 speakers, but also a 3.5mm headphone jack, a USB-C 2.0 port, a microSD card reader, and of course a power button and the volume controls. We get an 8MP camera at the front and back, and both take solid pictures. The front camera can also be used to unlock it using facial recognition. Let's move on to the Lenovo Tab Plus's unique selling point, the 8 speakers, which are said to be from JBL. Lenovo calls them JBL Hi-Fi Matrix speakers with Dolby Atmos. This tablet is said to be able to fill a room with 26W stereo sound and has 4 speakers on the side for high tones and 4 for low tones. Together they are 22cm long. When I switched on the Tab Plus for the first time and listened to a bit of music, I was surprised at how good the sound quality was. At the time, I didn't know what Lenovo wanted to market this tablet at. At well under $300, it's considered an entry-level tablet, and for that price it's surprisingly loud and the bass is surprisingly deep. I later compared it with their competitors, such as the Samsung Galaxy Tab A9 Plus as well as the iPad Pro. The sound quality is much better than the A9 Plus. The latter sounds more like a cheap toy in direct comparison. So far, I think the 13-inch iPad Pro has the best speakers of any tablet to date. Even though it's much more expensive and the test almost doesn't seem fair, I had to compare it to Apple's flagship. The speakers on the Lenovo Tab Plus are actually slightly louder than on the iPad Pro, and the bass is stronger. Music also sounds better on the Lenovo compared to the expensive top-of-the-range device from Apple. Based on my test, it is therefore clear that the Lenovo Tab Plus is the tablet with the best speakers at the moment. A great choice for music lovers. As I said, it has a 3.5mm audio port on the side and this supports 24-bit and 96 kHz. Let's move on to the display. This is 11.5 inches in size and has a resolution of 2000 by 1200 pixels. It's a typical LCD that supports up to 90Hz and is 400 nits bright. So the display specs are very typical for this price range. I used to say that such a resolution on 10 inches is high resolution enough and just enough on 11 inches. But with the 11.5 inches here, the pixel density is getting pretty thin. When I hold it in front of me normally, everything is fine. But when writing with the pen, I tend to move my nose towards the screen and then pixels quickly become visible. Compared to the direct competitors such as the Lenovo Tab M11, Galaxy Tab A9 Plus and S6 Lite 2024, it performs well but not very well. Samsung's tablets are a bit brighter, even the cheaper A9 Plus. Ultimately, it's a pretty solid display, especially for home use, with which you can also play Netflix in HD resolution. That is not the case with all tablets. Together with the speakers, this but also YouTube, Disney Plus and other streaming services are a lot of fun. You can write on the touchscreen of the Tab Plus with the Lenovo Tab Pen Plus. This is the same pen that works with the Lenovo Tab P12 and Legion Tab. It supports over 4000 pressure levels, is charged using a USB-C port, and is made entirely of plastic. The pen actually works quite well, especially considering the price range. Inexpensive tablets from Lenovo often have the problem that they are simply not precise enough, like with the Tab M11 and P11 Gen 2, but that's different here. You can take handwritten notes with the Tab Plus almost as well as with the Tab P12. Compared to the Samsung S6 Lite series with S Pen, the pen is sometimes not quite as fast here, but it's definitely good enough to take serious handwritten notes for school or university. The Lenovo Tab Plus is equipped with a MediaTek G99 octa-core processor and 8GB of RAM. The internal storage is 128GB or 256GB depending on the version. It's nice that we get 128GB as a standard. A version with 5G has not yet been announced. My Geekbench 5 benchmark comparison shows that the compute graphics performance is a good bit above the Amazon Fire Max 11, Lenovo Tab M11, and also slightly above the Galaxy Tab A9 Plus. The latter has a slightly better multi-core performance. The Galaxy Tab S6 Lite 2024, which is also slightly more expensive, is significantly better. The 3D Mark Wildlife test roughly confirms this. The graphics performance is significantly better than the Lenovo Tab M11 and roughly on par with the Samsung Galaxy Tab A9 Plus. However, tablets like the Lenovo Tab P12 or Samsung S6 Lite 2024 are more powerful. In fact, I think the Tab Plus is a solid gaming tablet thanks to its good speakers. After all, the soundtrack of a good game is an important part of the experience, but it's not suitable for graphically demanding games like Fortnite due to the weak processor. This changes with less graphically demanding games, which can still be pretty. This includes Leo's Fortune, which also has a wonderful soundtrack. The good speakers are worthwhile here, and this game is a lot of fun on the tablet. But you can also play PUBG Mobile smoothly, even if only with HD graphics. Higher settings cannot be selected. The Lenovo Tab Plus comes with Android 14 and the manufacturer promises OS updates for 2 years and security updates until June 2028, which is decent and has been a weak point of Lenovo in the past, so it's nice to see them improving noticeably here. As always, the interface is only slightly customized. Ultimately, we get normal Google Android here, including many apps from Google and the taskbar. They have also built in some features for the stylus, which you can use to take screenshots and write on them, for example. With Nebo and MyScript Calculator, 2 good apps for the pen are also pre-installed. All Lenovo tablets support Freestyle, which allows you to extend the screen of your Windows PC to the tablet. This is done using Wi-Fi, so it's not the fastest connection, but sufficient as a display for something like Twitter or Spotify. The Bluetooth speaker mode is quite unique. This is switched on automatically when you pair it with a device that plays music. This allows you to play music from your smartphone or other devices using this tablet. You can also control the volume of the tablet with your phone. Pretty cool. In my battery test, it had a battery life of 9 hours. That's a pretty good result. For this test, I always run an HD YouTube video at maximum brightness, and in this case at 90 Hz in an endless loop. My conclusion is clear. Despite its low price, the Lenovo Tab Plus currently has the best speakers in a tablet, and by a good margin, even better than the expensive iPad Pro. If you like listening to music or audiobooks on your tablet, it's perfect for this. It's also great for voice assistants, and if you're looking for a cheap tablet for watching movies, then it's just as good. The other features are good for the price, but not as good as the speakers. In any case, the performance is sufficient, and it's roughly in the same league as the Galaxy Tab A9 Plus. It's powerful enough for most apps, but you can't play every game on the highest graphics settings. The display is solid, but could be brighter. I also think it's great that we get 128GB of storage as a standard. Many competitors in this price range only offer 64GB. I was also surprised by the stylus, which is actually pretty good. This is very rare for tablets costing under $300.